Well, most of us have a little bit of egg on our face as Gen.G gets slaughtered by Envy in the first map. Envy just looked so much better and so much more prepared than what Gen.G brought to the table. We were expecting big things from them here, Potter, but their attacking side left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, a lot to be desired. And, you know, it doesn't make things easier when your duelists and your entries are just losing out that initial contact duel every time, right? We see the stats here, Quinn and Sean, they were losing it out. And generally speaking, Gen.G are pretty good at compensating for that. They're good with the trade game. They're good with their spacing. But this time around, because Envy had such full control of that B main, they had full control over that A main, most of their eggs were in that mid basket, but even there, they were losing out on that trade game. So really, it really looked like Gen.G were losing and running out of all their options here.
Yeah, they tried a lot of things, and I remember DDK was mentioning, like, they didn't really have any lurks for Gen.G, but I did see that Win and GMD were trying it from time to time. There was a lot of times where Gen.G were able to make it into the site, but everybody died, just as Christine said, because everybody's losing their duels. The last one that's trying to lurk around for GMD or for a Win, they're just left alone on like a 4 versus 1, 5 versus 1. I think I remember counting at least 4 situations where that happened. So, and even when Gen.G took over a site and they won those battles, they were immediately flanked or not clear from other angles, like not pushing towards A main, so Food had advantage from those corners too, to just get the backstab really quickly onto Gen.G on Envy's defender side.
Looking at Envy's defensive side, Belly, it seemed so
dominant
in comparison to their opposition. Envy didn't really seem to struggle at all on the defense.
All right, check out these numbers, right? Envy with an 82% win rate on defense, Gen.G 58% on attack. It sure as hell didn't look that way. Envy were basically walking cattle to the slaughterhouse, right? You take a look at the beginning of the game, and Envy did so well. GMD was shut down early mid thanks to players like Caboose holding it down. But not only that, Envy threw a lot of different looks that were really creative, right? Remember Raze with the satchel charge, Caboose getting out of their mid, while one person was still camping mid being a rat. Plays like that, and also FNS's setup at B with the Nano Swarm. When Gen.G tried to attack, they were slowed down big time, right? So with B shut down, Mame opping in tunnel too and rotating from there. You have the middle shut down, but only 2 people consistently on the other site. It's a no-brainer. You're going to want to push that site. The thing is, there's nothing to stop Crashies from peeking from behind the generator and getting 2Ks all day. Envy were so damn good on defense, man, and big thanks to Crashies right there.
Here's the scary thing. Now you move over to Haven. It's a map they played in the first match in the bracket where Envy sent Gen.G down into the lowers. Envy kind of stomped them there too, 13-6. We needed to see Gen.G get off to a stronger start on that first map, Potter, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, and you know, Gen.G, they need one of those miracle rounds. I keep thinking back of that 1 versus 3 or 3 versus 1 rather in Gen.G's favor versus Mame, and those kinds of rounds can really turn the tide around for a squad. You know, you get your hyped up, you start gassing each other up, you really start getting that momentum, and Gen.G, they really needed that, especially going into the second map. Now, we spoke about it, right? Van Silly mentioned it. They're trying to play their own game. Hopefully their Haven game is a lot stronger than the last time around, because they definitely got clapped around.
Yeah, because just real quick, when you look at the amount of rounds that they've gone on the attack for Envy, it was every single round on the attack. I don't think they lost a single round on the attack, and all of those times were ending up on C. So they were pushing out rotations on from C to A and then going back to C, or just straight up going towards C and winning those. So Envy has to be prepared for a better defense on that C site.
Well, last time they played these two on this map, it was 13-6 in favor of Envy. Only one member of Gen.G even broke double digits on the scoreboard. It was Guimon. The rest of the team really struggled to hit their stride. We'll see if those problems are going to rear their ugly heads yet again. DDK and Riv are standing by to carry us into the game. Take it away.
We are about to get into map number 2 on Haven between Envy and Gen.G. Envy, Dan, quite a dominant first game. The Gen.G fans sending all their energy here for game 2.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you know, when I looked at the maps, I felt like, okay, Gen.G, this is looking pretty comfortable from them in this series, map to map. I feel like they've shown great games on all these maps, especially the first 2. We know that Haven is a map where they can play pretty well. They have a very well established default. They know what they're doing on the defense. Like, it's just a great comfort map for them, and Ascent as well. It's a map that has been really good for them, generally speaking. A lot of their better results have come from that, and that was where they obviously kind of destroyed 100 Thieves just yesterday. So going into the first map with like that, where they clearly had a prepared game plan on their attack. And we know that because when they played 100 Thieves, they took a completely different approach. And so whatever they prepared against Envy, that game plan just didn't really come to fruition. Envy locked it down. So that doesn't bode well for Haven. But with that said, Riv, I feel like Gen.G on the attack, I feel like their basics will do, I hopefully think their basics will do a good job for them here. They do like to have a more mid and C focused default to start the round, and then they tend to kind of drift towards A in the late round. That's kind of a loose framework as to how they approach it. And there's so many options because there's 3 sites that can really end up in a lot of different ways. So I feel like it'll be harder for Envy to read them as well. And that was a problem on Ascent. Envy were on the defense, but reading the attack of Gen.G way too well.
And having the flank as well sometimes, that'll be a lot easier with the Cypher coming in. We saw that Kusta had to always move what he had around there with Killjoy since they're taking each site at different times. So we'll see how this starts out for them. Gen.G again on attack. A note for this series, Envy on defense for those 2 maps. If we go to a third, they're on defense again. And it did seem to give them a bit of an advantage there on Ascent. Here on Haven, a lot of people like to give that to the attackers, so Gen.G have to use it to their advantage. I think the darts are going to be huge. The setups are big. I love seeing the Phoenix on Haven. I think it's one of the stronger picks. It always has been because of the close quarters. You can activate your run it back from, finding that garage, finding that in lower as you go to A. As we're about to be on to Haven. We did not get this a lot in the beginning of the tournament here as VCT Masters started, but now that teams are feeling out how each other are playing and what advantages they might be able to get out of Haven, we're seeing it more. Here it is for Envy versus Gen.G.
Well, it looks like we might see a possible fast contact into the C site behind the dark cover, but there's full control of A long where there's a huge stack from Envy. So looks like it's going to work out nicely for a guaranteed spike plant, and it's going to be the retake for Envy. There's definitely a lot to talk about with the Phoenix dynamics, but we'll go into that in a moment as we see the retake now having to be set up, having to be coordinated as Gen.G have had a very easy going opening here.
Little bit of a lurk. Oh, one from Kusta. Doesn't even have to reload on that. Trap through just to make sure he's creating that defensive or offensive pressure. Caboose to trade one back. And they're just pressuring this time to make sure everybody's in position, getting the calls right before they act.
Kusta has to play it perfectly on this lurk as well. He's really cautious about the timing, reading the map as well as possible. But here he comes. Kusta has to save this one. The defuse is being held in the dark cover, and Mummy has no issue at all holding it down for his teammate to defuse. Envy with a great retake, and so once again they're going to be off the bat with a solid footing in this game, and that's been problematic for Gen.G so far.
I want to say that Kusta felt like he was going to see more resistance. You know, after getting that frag, that somebody would come find him, because getting back into the site for the rest of the team, it just happened. You know, for Envy, they were like, somebody might be behind us, so let's flood the site. So that was pretty heady play by them to make sure that the rear flank wasn't really that useful to start off for Gen.G. And we'll see what they do here to garage and beyond as they dive straight through.
Yeah, this eco is looking like it could actually catch Envy off guard here. Caboose does get the paint shells out, but he's going to go down in the effort. Oh, Mummy with the spray though. Oh, that is very nice from Mummy. I don't understand how he picked up that extra with the classic, but that makes all the difference. And that will prevent anybody else dying for Envy. So Envy will be, I think, quite happy with that. And as we go into this next round, there is a big dynamic we saw when Envy played against Luminosity. When Envy were playing the defense, Luminosity never punished the fact that Food was farming the A-long orb over and over again. And typically in the default of Gen.G, they don't put much pressure early rounds on A. If I were Gen.G, I would definitely be thinking about more A-long pressure, because look at what we're seeing here. Envy putting everybody around this long orb once again.
They're pinging it for the dart to go out. They've already got 2 on that box side. Oh, that's good damage right there. Looks like he wanted to throw out his hot hands. I believe he still has it. No, he did get it down. And now it's just going to be the pressure here on A. But what a call, Dan, to see both teams have such priority over this. And it didn't seem like there's a plan B just yet. That's to wait it out and see what comes of this.
Yeah, and this is already a huge improvement based on what the Aussies attack looked like. Oh, great stuff though. God, he's ready for that. And it's going to be a huge win there for Gen.G around A-Long. Caboose wants to challenge this again. They actually want to live and die by this A-Long play, but you know what? Gen.G doesn't care. They have the advantage. They're going to rotate back to B, and Finesse holding B down by himself. He's got a trip on C, and that's going to have to be where Gen.G go at this point because they lost the entry towards B. It has to be this site, and it's going to have to be Finesse holding backside control, which he will not be able to successfully do, leaving Envy in the 2v3 retake.
What an unfortunate turn of events there. The dart just passed him firing, gave himself away, and Gen.G's able to dissect the site with Hwin on top of the box. Gen.G come up with another one for themselves, I should say, here in the second map. And that's what they're going to need. They got to start stacking these rounds. Fourth round here. Gen.G has one before they get too much damage done from Envy. We're going to have to see these ults coming into play now. Showstopper's up for Caboose. He's got the shoddy. We've seen how much work he can do with that just last time on Ascent B. And we'll see how close he can get. Looks like he wants to set up in Cubby C long.
Yeah, and he may actually make a play forward there, especially if the dark cover comes through. He can play into Bucky with that dark cover. And be still putting priority around a long knock and a short, but not quite as much as before. Crashies. We can't quite find the angle. I don't think they know that he's here.
Right here.
The barrel of the gun is not spotted, actually. Do they have any idea? Crashies. He wants this so badly. He might get two out of it. You know what? He's good for one, and he's going to back away. That's a steal, and that is a huge pick to find for the team that's on the half buy.
It's absolutely wild because now they're considering how they have to move. Who else has pushed up? And they know they have a trap at C long. Spike is down right now, and they're doing a lot of work without it. 50 seconds left, which gives them enough time either side of the smoke in a game of cat and mouse for Kusta and Mummy. And that's going to be a pretty great neural theft to help them out. The earlier the round you can use the neural theft if you got it, the better. Better return on investment. And here's some kills from Hwin on A, but that's a trade from Food, and he may be able to get himself a rifle here.
Oof, that's rough. Looked like Hwin had that in the bag, but it's still a very dangerous round. If Hwin gets that kill and stays alive, it doesn't seem winnable at all. But right now we have the advantage in numbers for Envy. Food is very weak, of course. Finesse has picked up a Vandal, as has Food, as you mentioned. And now Finesse is coming in on a timing for A-Long, and he's going to actually get a freebie. It's up to Kusta. 1 versus 3 from Kusta. It's definitely going to be a hard one as they start to challenge. There's the running back pop. Nice. Able to punish Caboose through that window. And there's 2 players left. He's still maximum health, but they both have Vandals. There go the Hot Hands, forces to swing, and there's nothing else to do. He's traded by Food. And Food, we talk about Food time and again. And this is another round where he shows that he is a cut above so many in the professional scene as the Thrifty comes to completion.
You know, they're impressive. It starts to become so impressive because of the consistency. The pressure situations not affecting him, able to hit the shots. And every time in a situation that looks like the odds could be against him, it really thrives in that. Even at just 3-2-3 right now, the impact someone like Food has can't really be stated on a KDA. 5th round here, Envy 3-1 is Gen.G. Can do a little bit on this round. It looks like it's going to be a Bladestorm save and a bit of util buy here on the side of Kusta.
And I love that we have some focus on Food from C because right now, Envy are expecting heavy contestation around A long, which means that it's safer to push C and to make plays around C on the defense. However, we can see that Gen.G is actually playing a generally quite a defensive setup. They're actually going to, it looks like, try to contact through to the A site. So they're breaking, they're not even really defaulting here at all. And Food's got a forward position C long. So Envy going to start to work this one out. If Mummy gets a good paranoia here, good delay, that's a great shot.
Down
But
A.
there goes Win, he can't punish. And that is a terrifying reality for Gen.G. They've lost so much and gained almost nothing in return.
The Hwin daggers have just been slightly wide on those right clicks. We saw one on Mummy earlier. It has not been in his favor, and some days are like that. They go down on the site take. We see Kusta here trying to just play some quick peeks, making sure he can get a shoulder first to give the team info. Spams don't do too much damage. A great trade coming in from GMD. Exactly what Gen.G needs right now. He has been popping off the past few days of the tournament, and it's exactly what could win them this round. He's got boosted there, and they're both going to be in hell.
Looking scary, the wall coming out as well to provide extra entrance, extra space onto the site. Food now could be in so many different positions. Nice swing though from Kusa. He gets the info. Finds Food down to GMD now. The fake TP comes through from GMD. Just barely catches Food, and he's going to finish it off. And my goodness, I thought that they, based off of what Mummy was able to accomplish, Rib, it looked like the round was dead. But the players coming up short played it perfectly and were able to trade all the frags and get space onto the site.
Moving in just slow enough. I think when Gen.G takes that time to discuss, you know, what they're doing, where they are, pull out a bit more util, instead of kind of play a game where you're saying, we need to retake the site. You know, there's an entire process to that. Envy can still be picked apart, and that's what we saw there. It takes a little bit more, especially with the way Envy's running right now. So as Gen.G, I think we're going to see them slow down a bit, and that probably benefit them here in Haven.
Very nice from Mummy. Man, he's just so damn good, isn't he? The dash route to the back of the side, though, for Win gains a very quick position. Nice defense from Michael as well in the window. So looking pretty good so far, but there's a lot left to do here for Gen.G as the danger lurks around every single corner. The Bucky is heard around the grass position. And Win able to keep defending this B side. So looking good here as each player is one by one dealt with effectively. And I have to say, one thing I think, Riv, for me, that's promising here for Gen.G on their attack so far is that they're not allowing Envy to just get anything for free, which was the case when Envy played Luminosity. Luminosity were not able to ever punish Envy's early round plays, but Gen.G have been able to contest A long when it's important, and now the game is kind of flowing away from that. So Envy aren't investing as much A long, and we're starting to see a development as Envy look for edges in the early rounds elsewhere. So Gen.G are definitely doing a much better job here so far. Even though we're going to 3-3, it's looking good to me, at least, as someone that's rooting for a 3-mapper, that Gen.G are going to have a way better attacking side.
Exactly, and I'm eating crow on that, you know, happily so, because I thought, as you said, you know, it'd be more focused on A. Orb play coming up, things are going to slow down. But instantly we see Quinn and Sean, the duelists of Gen.G, flying into the B site. So they're definitely looking to get under the skin of Envy. We'll see if that stays consistent. It is going to be the operator from Mummy. That usually helps to stop down on aggressive plays. So we'll see if they can catch Gen.G off guard with the first shot. That's going to be located at C to start off for Envy. Looks like a pretty good split from Gen.G too. They could be able to avoid this.
Early drone into B here to clear these close positions. Just noting that this is going to be round just given for free early on. A lot of teams will play a retake on the B side, especially at the early timings. We have a 3-man setup towards C, so it looks like a pretty good spot here for Gen.G, but it can be difficult. And you know what? Actually, yeah, he's going to walk all the way through A link. What on earth is happening right now? Food is in the short position. He's going to try to stop this by himself. Age comes through. He's in so much trouble. He can get spammed. Oh, no, he flashes himself as well, but still gets the kill. I don't understand, but Food is still alive.
What is happening this round was a perfect description there, Dan. Oh, my word. It's so tough to walk in if somebody's already in. Food looks behind. He's like, wait, did they maybe get behind me already? He's thinking right, but there's going to be 2. Hides. Oh, the timing again. This round is so edge of the seat for all of these players just thinking they're surrounded here. They're more than right as these situations continue to unfold. 30 seconds left in the round, and that's Mikael with the spike.
Left.
It looks like they're going to go towards Garage C. Maybe it's that B play again, but ring around the rosy, Dan, right through the window.
Oh, man, that could go so many ways, and Finesse is going to get caught, and it's crazy that they just had the sense not to just start running, because Finesse was still looking for info, still walking around, and his teammates didn't know what to do, but they are coming in at a good timing. The showstopper's popped in. Oh, but Win's able to punish Mummy as he comes around the back, and it's up to Caboose now. He's got the showstopper around, but can he avoid getting traded? He can't! Michael with the kill, and that's going to secure the round for Gen.G. An insane round, just as you said, Rib. It's so hot. Nobody knows what's going on. At a certain point, Win is lurking. It's a 2 versus 3. Nobody on the server knows exactly where anybody is or what the hell's going on. But Gen.G's just barely managed to come out on top there. Very weird round. Food surviving for a very long time. Such an awkward scenario, but the timings worked in Gen.G's favor, and that's going to have them leading by 1 round.
I love it. Hey, that's definitely a round to re-watch in the end. Win passing through the smoke as the drone goes overhead and then being like, so where is this? Where is Crashies? Oh, there he is. Oh my God. Finds him jumping around just after Owl Drone. And then the fun began. And it's definitely worth a rewatch. I can't wait to later. Tech Pause coming in here real quick as we have a moment to chat about what could be happening in round 8. Checking out the scoreboard and looking at all of these ults available. That's 9, Dan.
Oh my God. It is funny because these rounds have just kind of developed into such a weird place that it hasn't been a great spot to kind of figure out how to use them or when they should be used. It's just been chaos. But we'll see if there's maybe some order now as we'll see exactly what the approach from Gen.G would be. I think we can see again that there's a heavy setup towards C here for Envy on the defense, and it's kind of looking like we can expect that Win's going to look for a peek towards C. They know that the money is not good for Envy, so he's not really going to get challenged there by another operator or a weapon that may go toe to toe with what he has. So there's definitely some assumptions that can be made for Gen.G, but ultimately they don't want to get caught out, of course, by Envy making any plays. And lots of teams like to have heavy garage control. They like to try to push mid and maybe split out of garage and mid to try to attack the attackers. But again, Gen.G pretty wise to all these kinds of potential plays.
All right, just about ready to hop back into play. And Twin's going to be looking with that operator. Man, he is just set up this round. You'll see a few of the ults getting ripped off right off the beginning. He'll tag there. Nicely done. Crashies and food. No armor on this round, if we're reading that right. As they are just going in there trying to do the eco work here.
Oh my God, Rivy might move into 4 players. Oh, this is so scary. They have no idea what's on the site. And Envy don't know where they are either. They're going to go in, there's the wall. Ness is going to be isolated, gone. The wall is everything here for Gen.G. He's not able to clip backside when it comes to lose through the cage. And even though they go into the 4-man setup, they do it together, they do it right. And they somehow avoid losing more than 1 player. I don't even understand, but it worked.
I mean, great stack, great calls all around. I think everybody was ready to get into the fight there. It's just who hit the shots first. And we'll see what Crashies can do. 2 shock darts and a dream. Not going to be that long. Quinn takes him down. Operator online now for Quinn and that Blade Storm still, as they only used Neural Theft on that round. We'll see what they have for round 9. Gen.G's feeling good as they put some padding in here now. Everybody's starting to get some frags. They're more confident on the opening shots, and it is showing for Gen.G here. You said it, Dan. Attack could be that bit of an advantage that they would need, and they're trying to run with it.
Yeah, it's certainly it's looking like they're beginning to really stabilize into what could be a strong lead. Of course, got a full buy from Envy as well. Envy not putting excess attention on any one point of the map. We've seen a lot of that around A long early on, but times have changed. This is looking like some mid control coming through from Gen.G, some presence there as they have given up all control towards C, and a very slow start from them in that sense. They understand that there's nothing going on around the A short and A long position. Envy are playing very passively themselves. Envy going to need some of that mid-round information seeking. So that could be a recon, that could be... I'm not sure if the drone is still available. It is. So at a certain point, Envy are going to have to start finding out something, but they are maybe going to rely on those ults for retake as well. On that
look
A
at the
side
traps,
at the very least.
traps in A already. The positioning right now of food, he's been standing there next to short. He's been hearing the camera. He's listening for footsteps. He's ready to throw a flash or a curveball into B. So that's such a great spot to have right there. And he might even get footsteps of Sean coming in. He's going to hear him right there. The team's going to be able to move. And already Crashies is there as well to get the darts into the site. This could be a big one. That 5v5 retake the play once again as Run It Back goes down to start us off.
And he got a lot of info there, actually. Saw a lot of players. Oh, that ult is going to be used very well to get some tags onto quite a few. Caboose still has to run it back. FNS, well, there goes the neural theft. FNS is dead. Caboose, though, doing what Caboose does. He's found his way on top of the short box. And Gen.G are starting to struggle here, just down to Sean, and the classic comes through for Mummy. And that was insanely chaotic. That TP from Mummy was awesome.
They gotta cause the chaos. He's like, take it, cut the red wire.
We good.
And they're good. Wow. ND looking to close that gap real quick. Nice execution there. A lot of that Sova Hunter's Fury damage coming into play, as you were saying, getting a few tags, softening up the site, and making sure that everything could work in their favor. So NB now on a pretty good buy with Mummy on the operator. They get that up out of Quinn's hands, and I think that's going to matter. Once we see that on both sides, rounds are either slowing down or speeding up due to who goes down first and how fast. But now that Gen.G does not have one, we'll see how they work this.
Drone going through straight away, but we have actually a push from Envy. Caboose and Mummy pushing C-Long. They're going to find absolutely nothing. The trip will be there. It's a difficult one. You could TP past it, but Caboose could only satchel over it or destroy it. So he's just going to hold the position instead, which is a lot of information for the team that offers up obviously flank potential. Crash, he's droning through to see what he can find here behind the dark cover. Doesn't see anything, actually, but knows there is at least one or two players there. Garage is being taken control of, but they would have to break the trip, which they've just done. And so now, at this point, Envy's a bit worried about C.
Yeah.
They have Caboose in that really deep position. So if it is a C play, Caboose can do a huge amount of damage.
Great eye, Dan. He's already grabbed so much info there that the team can start to rotate a little bit. B's an easy cover if they have to retake, and he may get some footsteps here in just a moment for that call. He might have been taking a breath that moment. You look at the mini-map, and Sean takes advantage of it. They're moving in with first blood, and Mummy tries to stop it.
Almost getting the collab there as well. Win straight to the back of the site, but Envy have backside control still, and that's a problem. Nice paranoia going through, allows Crack to get easy one onto GMD, and the headshot position protects Mummy, and that's gonna be Envy tying it up 5-5 in this first half on Haven, and it looks great going into this, but again, Mummy is just difficult to stop, and so I feel like Mummy is extremely reliable, especially on the operator. I love that dimension for this Envy team.
And that was such a good look from Gen.G. Going into that play, said the op wasn't going to be in their hands, and they go back to the B play that worked before, where Quinn and Sean are feeling comfortable being close to their opponents and getting in their face and making it work. However, they got shut down, stopped out by the smokes coming in from Envy, which was Mummy, still guarding C as well at the same time. So you're right. He is being able to multitask. He's being Mummy as usual, and with the operator in his hands, it's going to be tough to shut him down. Gen.G moving in with some Sheriffs, some Bulldogs, and a Phantom there for GMD. We'll see if they protect that a little bit on what could be a B play.
Ready with that boombot to send that through. This is going to be awkward here for... Oh, God, it's looking it's looking gross, isn't it, at the B site. Nothing really to do here for Gen.G to get position there, but they'll quickly reroute themselves to that C rotation. But Vanessa's there, he's ready, he's waiting. He's got the Phantom, he's got assistance and food, and that's the flawless there for Envy. Looking like they could actually end this half 7-5, and that would be very sad for Gen.G because they've had a lot of great opportunities, they've done a lot of good work, but Envy's just such a hard team to stop.
And everybody's stepping up for both teams, I should say. We usually, we talked about Food, we talk about Crashies, we talk about Mummy, but Caboose here doing great this time as well. Inside of Gen.G, you can't say Kuz has not been fragging out. He has had some great plays all around, and he does it on different agents. So this guy is one of my favorite players, is he's just able to switch it up and continue, and that's such a different mental on the agents that he switches from. So Cypher Killjoy is a bit the same, but you definitely have to think about how you're using your util, and he still comes up with the frags.
We get the short drone coming through here, and there's no run it back or anything like that. And it's certainly a play that can be quite strong if you have that run it back to aggressively take a lobby control in terms of what the defenders are doing and their options. But to get that early information, and that's also something for Gen.G. They know that that drone is no longer available to find info. But Food, if he could find a timing here and the curveball comes out, okay, it is dodged. That's definitely good as far as Gen.G are concerned, but he's slowing down any push towards this A site. There's 3 defenders now on A. So this is not a good look if Gen.G are to walk into this. And Mummy's there, so is Food. Beautiful work off of one another, and the flash as well. The trade starts to come though for Gen.G, and it's suddenly looking good. Sean delivering a very important couple entries.
That's exactly what they needed. We have not seen Sean stepping up enough in these as much as he usually does, I should say. He's still been doing his part. That gets quickly taken out. Envy's able to extinguish it. Nade comes through. They get the push out. They get the displacement. It's not going to be enough yet. Pink Shell's on one. And Caboose able to get one there, but it's going to be Kusta once again making the plays for the team to help him out and grab the 6-6.
Yeah, all tied up at the end of the first half, and I have no idea what to expect here going into Envy's attack. We didn't really get to see a lot of it yesterday when they were playing Luminosity, just because Luminosity didn't do enough in terms of their attacking side. So it'll be very interesting to see what style of play we get out of Gen.G's defense. Are they going to be aggressive? Do they want to play more retake? There's a lot of questions that soon will be answered as we go into the first rounds of this second half, and I definitely want to see a third map here. I'm sure you do as well, Riv. So I'm looking to see what can go right for Gen.G here, given how good Envy have been looking. But not too much to challenge this huge burst of players towards the A site. Twin barely survives that.
They know quite a few are there. Footsteps will tell them that sound cut will tell them that rush isn't going to fully come through, and a great push down here from Kusta already towards that mid side. We'll see what he can keep accomplishing with that information grab.
And kind of resetting out here, and you just know that Envy understands exactly what can happen, and Finesse is looking for that lurker. He's going to find him in a pretty typical position, and they're going to go back to A, actually. They're expecting that Gen.G will rotate all the way out, and Finesse is just getting every kill anyway. So now there's only 2 players left, one of which, Win, is extremely low, and Caboose sort of checking this. Win's able to take him down, but GMD has to take down 4 players on a retake, and he's against a Ghost and 3 Frenzies. It's hard to really see a world where GMD gets much out of this spot, but we'll see if he can make some money at least. That would be a big win for GMD. Get some money with some kills, charge up his ults. That's what he's looking for. There's that first spot. He just so badly wants at least a kill here.
Somebody show me your head. It's all he wants. Fakes to jump out. They know it's not happening. Nobody's pushed me stairs. All right, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. He knows he has to go down. You want to get that cash for the round. And nobody was going to push him eventually. So into the fire he goes. And we are on to the next round. 7-6, Envy grabbed that pistol, and they're going to be pretty well off here for this next one. We'll see keep an eye on how long they bonus. They did that into a lot of rounds coming up to game point on our first map, so we'll see if they try to stretch it even more here as they have rounds to play with on our second half of map 2.
We can see Gen.G looking like they want to rush down mid, so this could be a very, very quick round. We'll have to see what they're able to do with it, but it will be a quick tech pause here, so we get to... I mean, I'd say theorize as to what's going to happen, but I think they're going to run down mid and they're going to die. I think that's what's going to happen, but of course, that's what you expect to happen because, this is not matchmaking. Envy know what, this kind of rounds can mean, and they know that that's certainly one of the ways teams will play this, so that I don't think they're going to get caught off guard.
Right. And you can look at the util. What's prioritized, right? Nothing for GMD. Takes too long to throw any of those out. You want to be running. You could have the drone if you get a few kills. That's good to use. Shock darts, they'll happen later. Curveball also, right? And you can see, Kusta didn't buy anything. You're right, they're Russian. It all tells a picture. It's great to look at that and the rest of the mini-map. So push begins. How far do they get? Oh, one's known. That could have been a shot from anywhere, right? I think somebody close might have hit that, but they're going to move as the death ball this round, and we'll see how that works out for them, as it looks like the next party will be at A.
And you can see that one camera, it's a signature ability. It's going to recharge. That is what just crushed that push. Just that push, it relies on them getting close enough to be able to burst and get into position to overwhelm. And that camera prevented all of that. So as you say, quite rightly, that death ball decides to be rerouted elsewhere, and Envy are looking for it. There goes a cage. That's not going to do too much, actually. So they may find what they're looking for here, because it doesn't seem as though... Okay, now the information is known. There's an updraft to try to break the crosshair place, a little bit of finesse. He's in a lot of trouble right now. He's alone, and I don't think he's going to survive this. He definitely does not.
They're trying to figure out how they want to split the forces here, and none of them want to go through C. They figure since the fight is there, they're going to expect some to come around. No, I don't know what they want to do. They're going to hang it out. They're looking for all the exits they can. I was like, are they going to push in? But no, they'll stay for the far exits, and they keep themselves back.
Yeah, it would be really... I think the ideal scenario is just as you say. If they want to kill as many players as possible, maybe trap them in the bomb blast radius. Normally, the attacking team will have one place that's secured for the exit rotation, and that's C long. And it looks like Gen.G have 3 players here, so they've covered both eventualities, pressuring the site here. So they're going to keep some players in position. They're all grouped up, and GMD picks up another one, the Spectre. Can they trade out any more? They will. So they actually get 3 kills. So sure, they didn't win the round or anything like that, but in terms of some of the objectives, that's a huge win for as far as Gen.G is concerned. 3 kills is a lot of damage, and a round otherwise that could have been no kills.
Right, and you're getting them off those bonuses. You're seeing the buys have to come in a bit. Spectres as well, still around the board, just so full armor can happen. Guns for Gen.G. 6 to 8 here. The pressure comes on at 9. That next eco, you push to 10. You're wondering, you force save for another so you can have 2 in a row. Within that situation of rounds, it becomes the mind game of how to play economy, but also what your opponent will do now that you're getting to that.
Watch out.
Food, just kind of predicting he can get through a little early, but it may cause the timing that he has the advantage. He's not.
They're charging into the C side here. A quick split coming in. Fraction of the split. It's a quick push from Garage. Gen.G, though, starting to control the scenario. Mummy's down to 17 HP. Crashes is on 70, so Spike goes down, but they are pretty weak, and they have no control of long, and so they're going to try to push together around the spawn position, and Mummy's going to be actually... Okay, he's going to smoke off Garage and maybe play inside of the smoke. He's got to play some high-risk spots here because they're in a very, very disadvantageous position. Stuck on the site. Push comes in. Swing is there. Michael and Win get it done. And Gen.G pick it up on the retake. However, again, bonus round for Envy. They get the spike planted. They get a couple kills. I'd say that's definitely well within the realms of an acceptable round as far as Envy are concerned.
Yeah.
As we go into the next round. This is going to be the first 4-buy versus 4-buy. Oh, actually, maybe not. Caboose and Crashies had less money than I thought.
Yep.
They're going to be stuck on Spectres or
They're
something.
still going around. See if they focus on Altorp here. They are, I mean, they are focusing as much utility as they can, which is also putting them into these buy situations. And he'll feel comfortable, especially if they're focusing a few orbs to get in there. But we are, like you said, going to have that Spectre against the firearm or the rifles of Gen.G. We're moving into 8-7 here, round 16. The dart set up, go over, and it does find one in sight. Food's going to get taken on Win as GMD trades back. Big one from short as he gets 2.
So many options here now for Envy on the attack. What they could do is they could just reset the round now. They got loads of time left in the round. They don't have to push into way. They could try to play the information game instead. They know that there's so few spots on the map now that the defenders can be in. There's only 3 of them left. They have to kind of gamble. It's risky for them to get information. They get a tag on one. Well, that could change everything as the push comes through from Caboose now. He wants to punish that drone tag. His teammates, again, are actually going away from the A site. And they know that everybody's going to be stuck on this A site because of the pressure from Caboose. Wow. He's going to sell it further. He gets a pick. They're going to have to stay on the A site. At this point, Envy knows surely that the rest of the map is for free. But with that said, they're going back again. Oh, the Shockstar trades him out. This is crazy.
And now they're going to get in on the late pincer. Wait, they heard that. Hear him coming back in. Oh, my word. The cat and mouse right now that is happening is absurd. Spike's going to be planted. Mikhail with the dart, with a bit of HP. Gets food, takes the double damage there, but he's going to send the owl drone through. Hell has been identified. Shock dart through. Oh, he gets him with the bow still out. So much diff. Mikhail coming up, and he will tie the game back up at 8-8.
I just have this huge, just ear-to-ear grin right now because that
Me as
round
well.
was so
Wow.
cool from both teams. Back in the 3v3, you're in a spot where Caboose is selling it so hard that they're going to go into A off the back of that drone tag. And the kill that he gets, and then he gets the info. He knows both players on A, and they know that both of them are on A. So they're in a position where they're like, well, they surely will go to the other side of the map. They know it's completely free, but they reset back into A, and it's just genius that they do that. But still, Michael clutches it. Just amazing round from both teams, the way that played out. But we get win on the operator now. First time we're seeing this, but it is an eco here for Envy. And they are starting things off going pretty fast into garage control.
Picture perfect curveball there that he was able to throw in. A shot from Quinn, even through the utility spark of a shock dart. Caboose goes right down. That's going to be Blade Storm and quite a few other things up for Gen.G here. They're looking fantastic as they're now rocking this defensive side of the map. Trying to push in. Quinn hitting another one, and it looks like Spike's going to be down as now it's the post plant. Quinn with 3. Oh my word. I thought I was going to give you a moment there to say something, but never mind, round's over.
Yeah, it's all good. In the hood, Win locking it down with the operator. Great start from him. Now that we have finally seen that operator coming into play, and they get a flawless out of it. Quite a few scary situations there. The drone tag onto Mummy was really critical as well, just helping them keep track of everything that was happening. And Envy, they are trailing one round now as Gen.G take the lead 9-8. And you're looking at the mini-map, we can start to see how things are looking on the defensive side. We have Win focusing around C. So I'm curious how much action we're going to get here, because also we see Sean there with him. So looking like they want to go aggressive together. It might be a play against them. There comes the jump tag, but he has the perfect angle to punish. And he falls back with that free kill.
I just seen another just for a moment, but he still backs off. I love the shoot and move. Always change your position. That means they may not feel comfortable going to C, so they'll push something else. The op's not going to be here. No, Quinn is already thinking 2 steps ahead. Almost has a shot here onto Food if he pushes closer. And it doesn't look like he's going to cross that line of sight. You can see Quinn here, right here. I am expecting someone mid. Not this time, though. A few bits of utility go down across the map. You see drone clearing A. So mid-round, information still being grabbed by Gen.G of what's going and to possibly happen.
Walking through to A, and they have no idea where Win is. This is a difficult scenario for Envy. The way that they keep some of their advantages is by, of course, grouping up, by making it seem like they're doing something and actually doing something else. So they get the boombot clear. They're on short. And you can see that there's a response here from the defenders. Envy are actually stacking A because of that one bit of info. And Food now, he's going to spot this. He's going to be in a position where he's going to have to pull back to help out C. And he's going to be able to do that, trading out Sean. Figure out where the rest of these players are. As Envy managed to take full control of that C site, because they forced Gen.G on the defense to be out of position with that info that they presented on the A short position earlier.
A few unknowns to be covered. That garage has to be figured out before they make their way back in, and they got to worry about C long. Oh! The dodge and run, trying to do it, blind on, and there's going to be a few shots back and forth. FNS with huge frags there, but Mikhail able to find the frags with the Hunter's Fury, and they say, take it back, go ahead. And they're both on 0 points. So that's a prioritization there of Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, and it's interesting now, talking about the ult economy. Certainly, there's a favorable scenario here for Envy. They've got the Showstopper ready to go. Mummy's got his TP, crashes with the Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft there on Finesse. And Food is 1 orb from the run it back. So you'd imagine that they'd want to try to prioritize securing an orb for Food in this round regardless. And they're in a situation where they are on the half buy too. So they could actually try to, and they know that they have the ult advantage. So they could invest a couple ults here and actually try to win this round off of the back of them using this half buy. We'll see if they're able to do that. Well, there's a recon going through behind the cage, and it's a big push. They're in trouble here. We're able to dodge the Hunter's Fury. Michael able to also hold the position down, but the trace come through, and it's looking really good here for Envy. Those ults coming in huge, but it's just absolute chaos. Kusta and Sean rotating in, run it back, pop. curveballs going in. Nice trade, even though he's got clear sight on.
Wow, my eyes
This
are
is
down.
just insane right now, Rip. It doesn't stop. The action is just continuous.
Spike planted.
Here.
Last player standing.
I was
And he's
muting
around the
myself there.
cage. And he's going to go
Weapon
down.
here.
Gen.G with an unreal retake there.
An absolutely amazing play, and you would have, if you heard what I said and I didn't mute myself, it would have been even better. 3 entry points off the beginning of that site for Envy. It just blew Gen.G out of the water, and for Gen.G to recoup what was going on, orchestrate the retake with Mummy from window, one from lower, one from A long was immaculate. Great job by Gen.G to come back in that one. I you know, an injustice that I muted myself there. I apologize to the stream. But what a strat that they were able to employ to make sure they got in and just made it seem like Envy didn't have a post-plant defense.
Yeah, I love those Omen TPs window in fast rounds like that. But into the next one we go and win. You never know where he's going to be at the start of the round, but they're going to spot him now as he whiffs the shot towards window. And at the same time, because lots of action was spotted towards mid, you can see Jimmy tries to push a lobby and win. He's doing a great job here so far, and Avon, he gets another. And suddenly there's problems because Envy, they've lost 1 or 2 too many players going into the B plant. They're going to walk A link, though. They know they can't hold on to B. And they know that players have rotated out of position, so they're gambling on this A site take because they know that GMD pushed a lobby. They know there's no defenders really here, and they're going to get a post-plant rib. It's going to be difficult. It's 2 versus 5, but if they want it, they have a post-plant on A. But they're looking for they're looking for the players on A lobby first. This is genius.
Oh my god, Mikhail in such a good spot. He could easily get 2 here with a little bit of control. Oh my god, the Colette! You gotta be kidding. You have to be kidding. Mikhail having such a good series. 21 and 11 from the Sova. Hitting Hunter series left and right. Gen.G, game point to push us to map 3.
That's just beautiful control, and time and again, Win is doing immense damage around the mid position, or pretty much anywhere any position that he's in. With the operator, we didn't see him have this level of impact on Ascent. He found it much more difficult to get those spots to work from, but Haven is certainly a breath of fresh air as far as he is concerned. And we're gonna see Envy looking for that opening around grass, giving up a lobby control, looking to focus on what is probably gonna be a C split. And there's 3 players ready from Gen.G for this.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Right out of garage. This is going to be close. A lot of return here if he can get right in. So another one before they got into the gate. That's going to be 2 from Food. As they're going down swinging. If they're going down, and they're keeping themselves in this round beautifully with 3 early kills. The few come in from FNS and the rest of the team. And that was a haymaker from Envy.
Absolutely, and that's something that they were able to do off the back of some of those ults. We've seen it so many times from Food. Able to get that garage control fast, pop the run it back. The entries through are just very difficult to stop when he's hitting a stride like that. But with that said, there's no ults available for some time for Envy, so they're going to have to do this off of their defaults, and the ult advantage is likely going to go and shift in the favor of Gen.G. And we'll have to see exactly how this early lobby control works out. We've got the operator out for Mummy. Michael able to get rid of the recon and win. He's working along. They haven't seen this for a while, so they might not expect him here. He's got to try to trade this, and he won't be able to. Early advantage found by Envy. The question is now, do they want to go and hit A off the back of this, or do they reset out?
Spikes down, so it looks like they want to reset out overall. They're gonna definitely want Dart to come back up, so they have a little time on what Crashy's gonna be able to perform for the team. They do have drone. They're gonna want a more forward position for that, and honestly, that works as a great start before even having that sonar to make sure you are in a safe position to take a site. Push up from GMD, feeling confident, and he gets himself taken out.
Yeah, this is so difficult. You can see the desperation from Gen.G when they lost that player. Envy just let them sit in the desperation. Envy knows that they have to get something back. And, well, they were ready and set up to deal with the information plays. The punishes from Gen.G didn't work out. because Envy was so ready. And here comes the creep. Basically every Envy player. There's nothing that Sean can do. And this is a classic,
30
one of those
seconds
classic
left.
rounds where you know what the other team has to accomplish, and so you can set up optimally to catch it. And with that said, Envy will move to 10 rounds. Kusa is going to try to save what he has, not going to attempt the 1v5. Don't blame him. And we'll have to see exactly what this is going to look like now, because Mummy has his TP again, Crashies has his Hunter's Fury, and Riv, I think, when we saw those two ults previously, it was for a fast A hit, using Mummy's TP to get into window and using the Hunter's Fury to clear the site. It's a very dangerous combo.
Yeah, that was I muted myself round. It was really great. It was, though. The way they execute, Crashies will fire mostly, they kind of edge it towards the inside of the entryway on A from defender spawn. Then they'll put it in the entryway. Then you're firing down the lane of everybody who would be coming from BA to entry into A. So you kind of move it around, figure people out, and that chaos is beautiful for the rest of everybody to enter the site. You'll see Caboose flying in there. Food's going to be flying in there. And we'll see if they set up for that. Usually it'll have the Sova Dart set up just behind everybody here in Garden, but they do look to be defaulting a bit this round.
And you can almost see that Envy, or rather Gen.G, are expecting this because they know what we just talked about, and Envy can play off of that expectation. And you can see that they're doing that by hitting the site that they would expect to be minimally defended. Like, there's no defense on the C side. It's in fact completely open at this portion of the round, which means that Gen.G have to play aggressively for information on the A side where they were stacked, and they're rotating immediately. But they're not going to get here quickly enough, Riv. This site is for free.
Right here.
Yeah, it's good thing Mikhail got there for Gen.G so he could give a little bit of info that we need to move on this right away. GMD waiting to come across. Mikhail with the Odin to open things up. And they're going to take this one slow. Look how much they're checking for the flanks. Through B, already still through spawn now for GMD. As they creep in, this is going to be some teamwork and necessary for GMD.
Oh, Michael with that Odin's actually causing problems. Down to 2 HP. Caboose is one bullet anywhere's going to do it. Oh my god, how is he alive? Michael's trying to find him. He's going to do it. The paint shot's giving his position away. And even though Crashies can defend here, he can't survive for too much longer because we know Michael's coming. And there he is. Mummy with the TP there, back towards spawn. Is he going to find the angle that he needs to deny this? There comes the paranoia. He's going to try to make a desperate attempt. But desperation is the name of the game as Gen.G pick up map 2. And wow, that was a tough one, Riv.
Let's go.
It was very tough. But yes, into 3 we go.
I mean, it could have been, look at me. I've been just like going like this the whole time. What's going on? It could have been Gen.G. It could have been Envy winning that map. In the case of it bringing us to a third map, I am just happy we're going to a third map. What a game as well. And I think it was credit to Gen.G's offense being able to put a few more rounds in before they get to defense and playing their own game again this time. They seemed a lot more comfortable. Entries were coming in a lot quicker, and they were able to get those consecutive rounds in a row. I can't wait to see what both teams bring for map 3.
Yeah, on the same boat with you there. It's usually Envy's stomping ground, but there's something that tells me we're going to see an amazing game from Gen.G. And well, we'll have a quick break, and then we'll be back with the analysis from the desk.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
You get so much more than just a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best, only from Verizon.